Good evening, fellow hair loss people, balding people, and whoever else watches my channel. Today is my 2-month post-op kind of review. I wanted to go over just some things that I've really thought about in the past 2 months and kind of recap a couple of things. First off, starting off looking at the progress, I did a day like 56 video, posted it the other day. I have a considerable amount of growth on my right side. I'll try and get the lighting just right. You can see I've got a good bit of growth. This side is slower, but it is also coming in. Try and get a little side angle there. You can see little fuzzy hairs coming through. I'm definitely starting to get some. But even more important than that, my actual hair, my existing hair is growing back in. So it's kind of covering up a little bit. It's blending. And on top of that, the redness has gone away quite a bit now that I'm kind of right at that 2-month mark. I think it's kind of a combination of the redness going away, but also my hair is growing in to kind of cover it. So a little bit of a combination. I want to talk more about my travels in Istanbul. I thought a lot about it. So for those of you guys who don't know, in my personal life, I had a hair transplant done right after I left my old job and before I started my new job. I took about a month off in between my old and new job, and I had my transplant done like the Monday after the Friday that I left my old job. A couple things that would have changed though. I stayed in Istanbul for 3 days. I added an extra night onto my stay. So I arrived Monday night, had my transplant done on a Tuesday. Wednesday they did the wash, and then Thursday night I left. I should have instead done the extra time before getting my hair transplant done. Because what had happened is I did go out in the city and I explored a little bit, but the swelling really started hitting my face. If you guys see some of my earlier videos that I have, you can tell I started swelling up pretty quick. Also, Istanbul's an awesome country. So I'm from the United States. At the time I was living in Washington, D.C. That's how I traveled to Istanbul. The U.S. currency is super strong there. So if you're used to being, used to U.S. prices and you go to Istanbul, you get to live like a king for a fraction of the price. I really enjoyed my time there. I found that most of downtown Istanbul, the people were extremely nice. They were happy to have Americans there visiting. Obviously, as an American, it's like scary to travel to other countries, especially halfway across the world. I felt totally comfortable with the people in Istanbul. So I should have done more time before getting the transplant done. That if I were to do it again, get a second hair transplant, that's kind of how I would address that. Another thing where I really messed up, I found the cheapest possible flight, which was through Emirates. So Emirates flew me from Washington, D.C. to Dubai to Turkey. My travel time on the way back was about 24 hours, which was awful. It was miserable. I was swelling. I was tired. My head hurt. When you're flying back after your surgery, find the shortest flight option and pay the extra money for it. I know a lot of us go to Istanbul to save money. I'm telling you, spend the extra couple bucks, find the shortest flight time. It's going to be worth it. You're going to be so tired after surgery. You're going to be in pain, and all you're going to want to do is be in your own home. So find the shortest flight option. Another thing that I want to talk about is a lot of people ask, hey, when can you go back to work? After having the surgery, can I go back to work? I think that we're in an interesting time because it is COVID. So if you do work remote, you could probably go back after a couple days. But I would say take 1 week off minimum from your first wash, because what happens is days 3 through 5, you get so much swelling in your face that you're not going to want to do anything. You're not even going to want to leave the house. I ended up getting groceries delivered. My fiance was running out, getting me food and stuff. You're going to feel like crap. There's no other way around it. You're not going to want to leave the house, and you're definitely not going to want to work or engage with any of your coworkers. So 1 week bare minimum. Ideally, you could take 2 weeks off, but I know that that's not the case for everyone. Another thing I wanted to talk about too is I did make a video talking about essentials of stuff to purchase before your hair transplant. Another thing that I left off of that list actually was button-up shirts. Make sure that you have enough button-up shirts And it's actually probably a good time to buy new button-up shirts and recycle out some of your old ones. What I ended up doing is I had a couple of old button-up shirts that I ended up getting blood on just because your donor area might bleed. So then after that, first 14-day period, I ended up throwing them out. This is kind of my recap video, though. For 2 months post-op, overall, I'm thrilled that I got this surgery. I mean, you can tell pretty defining where my hairline's going to be. I can't wait to see the results. I'm in that ugly duckling phase, and I can't wait for it to be over. But we're getting there, and, the hardest part is over now. It's just kind of sitting back and watching it grow in. This is a huge confidence boost for me, too. I know I've mentioned before, I do work very much in the corporate world. So having good hair working in the corporate world is a big bonus. It would have been tough to continue on, and not trying to knock anyone down who doesn't get a hair transplant, who does work in the corporate world. Just for me personally, I talk in front of large groups, and it was pretty important for me to actually, just self-esteem wise to have good hair. So that's ultimately why I ended up doing it. And also, for those of you who don't know, I'm only 28 years old. I started balding when I was like 17. To be that bald at this young of an age. I had an intern last year who was like, "Oh, hey, Mr. Giller, how many kids do you have?" And that was like, just, that hurt real bad. No kids. I'm only 28. So, yeah. If you guys have any other questions too, send me a comment down below. Like the video, subscribe for all my future updates. If there's anything that you guys want me to talk about or anything that you want to see, please let me know. I'll give you the quick tour. These areas. And then, my back area is healed up pretty well. And my sides are completely healed at this point. So if you guys have any other questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I will touch base with shorter videos next week. Thank you.